Sorry, that's my bad.
Really good basketball team. Well-coached basketball team as well. A lot of people talk about them being veterans, 6-year, 5th-year seniors and having 6 or 7 of them. And I get it, you can talk about that, but they play well together. I look at them and don't see a selfish bone to eat in neither one of their kids. They play together. They play hard on both ends of the floor. And I just thought they came in, which, again, I credit Musk, because they probably had every opportunity to come in here and just feel like they could probably cruise to a victory. But I thought they competed for 40 minutes hard on both ends of the floor, made it tough for us offensively, and then I thought they moved the ball well to where our zone got a little bit more expanded than what we wanted to do. We knew coming into this game that we were going to have to give up some threes, but it was almost like a pick your poison type of mentality. We didn't want to give up threes and the paint, so our focus was more about controlling the paint, but I thought they did both. And again, I think that's the reason why they're a top 10 team in the country. So.
You guys talked about effort and energy. Were you surprised, given the number 6-7 team coming in, that you didn't maybe have the energy and effort?
Well, no, I didn't think our guys didn't have the energy and effort. I thought Nevada had more of it, and they forced us. They made us uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So, you take a situation like with Jake Hendricks. I think that was the first time since he's been in college for us that somebody actually played him that way, to where he had to do a little bit more than just break to get open. And I thought they did a great job on JJ in the sense of making it tough, whether it be picking them up full court or just forcing them to get tough catches. Now, granted, to be honest with you, we missed like 8 layups in the first half. Now, I can sit up there and say that could have made a difference. I don't know if it made that much of a difference. But I didn't think we didn't try. I just thought their energy and effort was on another level.
Seemed like their bigs inside too, especially in the second half. Knott and Thompson were getting frustrated. Eventually fouled out, and they were getting. They had 9 dunks layups just in the second half. Did that kind of wear too? They were hitting the threes, and then they were able to go inside and score even more in the paint.
Well, I mean, even within our game plan, because again, when you look at their group and you say, well, who do you stop? You say, okay, well, let's stop Caroline because he's the leading scorer or one of the leading scorers, which I think he'll probably be the player of the year in our conference. Then you say, okay, well, let's stop Caleb, or then you say, let's stop Cody. Then you say, well, they still got Porter, down low. Thurman is actually a pretty good basketball player as well. And then Lil Jazz that comes off the bench is actually pretty talented. And the kid, 21, I think was a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school. And he's not even one of the top 5 guys on their team. So they were just good, man. I can sit up there and make all the answers or try. That's a good basketball team. And I really, literally, I really want to call Coach Musk after this and just commend him on his group.
Did you feel like TJ kind of took advantage of the situation since they were kind of hugging JJ and Jake a little close,
Yeah.
that he was aggressive and maybe, taking advantage of that opportunity that was there for him?
Well, we talked about it in the game plan because even watching last year's game, them running at JJ to get the ball out of his hands, and them doing it to the kid at New Mexico. So it's in their repertoire. So we told our guys it's like putting 2 on the basketball. Because even the first time they did it, it was actually keep TJ running to the basket, flash Thompson, because people respect his ability to shoot the basketball so much that TJ was down there by himself and got the layup. But I thought TJ, I guess, took a step in the right direction in helping the program, but he's also have had games this year where he's taken steps. So, like I told the radio crew, if we rewind back to Utah State, we were dealing with a passive TJ to where he wouldn't shoot the basketball. And then it goes into that encouraging moment of saying, like, I really would, if you went 0 for 5 from 3, I would be okay with that. At least you're shooting the basketball. So my thing to him was, again, like I said to him before, like, T, you can't go back. Like, the team needs you to go forward. Because if he continues to play like that, and then we get Thompson being a little bit better than what he's been the last couple of games, and then you got Jake and TJ out on the floor, you have some good pieces. I don't know about against this group, but with some other teams in this league, you have good pieces to be effective.
Can the young team, can you take something out of this game? Can those guys take something?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing we can take is that team, regardless of the score, played 40 minutes of basketball. They did not, and I've been a part of programs, or I've seen it on the other end, I've even seen it with us, that when the score can get lopsided, now it becomes fun. And we start playing just to get a highlight or make a home run play. I thought that team played 40 minutes of their identity of basketball, and it never got to the point where they cared about the highlight play. I thought they just continued to play basketball.
So you were at Kentucky, you saw some good teams. I mean, how did these guys compare to some of the teams you've seen over time?
That's a good question. Wow. I would say this. I think they play well together, and I think the only thing that will hurt them, I think, going forward is no different than our game plan was shooting ability. If you take away the kid Jazz, who made 4 for 5, which that was in the game plan, and you limit Caleb's ability to shoot the 3 ball, if Carolina makes them, it's their night. But if you can pack it in and make them become a jump shooting basketball team, I think you have an advantage. Unless you have guys that can switch 1 through 5 like they do. So if I was to look at them over the years, man, I just think this group stacks up with some pretty good basketball team. Now, I don't know if it's elite of the elite when you're talking about the Dukes and the Kentuckys and the North Carolinas and things of that nature, but I would say the second tier. Like, I think that team right there would be, outside of your elite programs at the Power 5, I think they're knocking on the door. And depending on what elite team and how young they are, I think their maturity will put them over the top.
Is it almost surprising to see that many transfers
I don't know
play together? No, I mean, to play
Yeah.
that team way, to play together, that there wasn't a lot of selfishness in these guys. It's not like they came up together.
Well, the 3 big dogs did when you talk about the Twins and Carolina. And to me, those 3 are the head of the snake. So I think everybody else has to jump in line, because if you just had all those guys and this is their first time, yeah, I think it's a little bit harder, especially with 7 of them being 1,000-point scorers, to where they may not buy into their role. But when you had the Twins, this is their 3rd year there, with Carolina being their 3rd year, I think that makes a difference, because those 3 set the tone for everybody else. And I'm assuming with the way they carry themselves, especially a guy like Carolina, if you don't jump in line, man, I think that guy says something.